أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. O ye men, worship your Lord who created you and those who were before you, that you may become righteous. This is a very famous verse, I'm sure you've all heard of it. So, Ya ayyuha, O ye. There's different variations of this, but in general, this would mean, O ye annas, O ye people. Right? So Allah the Almighty is referring to the people. Ya ayyuha, O ye annas, people. Annas u'budu. U'budu is you worship. This is called fail amr, which has within it a form of instruction or a commandment. U'budu means you worship. And again, the vav and the alif in the end will indicate plural. So when Allah says, O ye people, obviously this is a large number of people. So this is in plural. Budu means you all worship. Who should you worship? Rabbakum. Rabbakum is Rabbakum. Kum, of course, we've read it many times now. You're all probably familiar with it. Means your. And this is again your Lord, meaning this plural. Okay. If this was Rabbaka, right, instead of, let me just type it here for you. Right. So if this was, let's say, Rabbaka, this would have been your Lord, but singular. Rabbakum, the kum indicates plural. So, O ye, ya ayyuha, O ye annas people, E'budu, worship, Rabbakum, Rabbakum. So this is the way, this is not the way you will see it in the Quran. This is the way you will see it in the Quran. Rabbakum, but this should always make it very clear to you that the kum means your. Rabbakum, your Lord. Now Allah the Almighty says, Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakum, that O ye people, worship your Lord. Now Allah the Almighty explains who the Lord is. It says, Allazi, who Allazi, who khalaqakum, created you, walladhina, and allazina, those who min qablikum, from before you, la'allakum, so that you may, or that you may, tattaqun, become righteous. Now, if we again look at the words wise and allazina, those, the singular of this would be, I'm sure you're all familiar with this by now, but anyway, just as a reminder, allazi, allazi is singular, and the plural of allazi is allazina, those who, min, from, qablikum, before you. Now, kum, again, you should have become familiar with it by now. If I just put a gap here, qabl means before. Qablikum, before you. Now, again, we just studied it above. If I was to say, let's suppose, before you, as in singular, just you, it will be qablika. Qablika, singular. And qablikum will be plural. Qablikum, before you all. And now I did explain to you that let's say Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nasu, O ye people, I'budu, worship Rabbakum, your Lord. Allah introduces himself, that who is the Lord? He says, Allazi, who khalaqakum, he created you. Wa and allazina, those who min qablikum, before you, from before, meaning those who came before you. And what is the purpose of this? Why is Allah telling us this? He explains, la'allakum, that you may become what?
Okay, can you stop for
Tattaqun. Right, yes. Right. So you might have seen in this class today that there's quite a few kum in this specific lesson. Rabbakum, your Lord. Khalaqa, he created kum, you. He created you, i.e. Allah created you. Wallazina min qablikum, before you. La'allakum, that you may, that takun, become righteous. Now la'alla, so that is generally used to denote expectation or doubt combined with expectation. So just in general, remember that la'alla on its own, just like this, la'alla would denote expectation, right? So in this context, Allah is telling us that Allazi khalaqakum, he created you and those before you. And what is the expectation of this? Why is he telling us this? La'alla, so that you become tattaqun, so that you become righteous. Okay. I think this verse should be quite straightforward for you, inshallah. So now we move on to the next verse. Allazi ja'ala lakumul arda firashan was samaa bina'a wa anzala minas samaa'i ma'an fa akhraja bihi minas samarati rizqan lakum fala taj'alu lillahi andadan wa antum ta'lamun. Now this is the continuation of Allah the Almighty explaining his attributes and his powers and his majesty. Allah says, who made the earth a bed for you and the heaven a roof and caused water to come down from the clouds and therewith brought forth fruits for your sustenance, so that do not therefore make equals to Allah while you know. So when we look at the translation for it's a not a very long verse, but still it requires a bit of attention for you to remember the keywords. Allazi, who. If you remember in the last verse, we studied Allazina. Just type it there for your benefit. So, Allazina. This was the plural of Allazi. Allazina. Allazi, who, i.e. Allah the Almighty, Ja'ala, he made. Just type Ja'ala, he made. He made la kum. Remember we studied kum in the previous verse. La is for. Okay. La kum will be for you. La indicates for. Lakum, for you. What did Allah create? Allazi, who ja'ala, he made lakum, for you, al-ard, the earth. I'm sure you're all familiar with al-ard. What did Allah make? Ja'ala, he made for you the earth, firashan, a bed. Was samaa, and the clouds, bina'an, roof. So let's see what the lexicons or the dictionaries explain about firashan. So firash, they say a bed is derived from farasha. They say farasha shay, i.e. he spread out the thing, he expanded it. So firashun means a thing that is spread upon the ground, a thing that is spread for one to sit or lie upon, a bed on which one sleeps, a wide or spacious plain or tract of land. This is from the lexicon lane. So you see, Firashan has various meanings, but the main translation of this would be a bed. So Allazi who ja'ala, he made lakum for you al arda, the earth. What did he make the earth? Firashan, a bed, right? Was sama'a, and the clouds. What did he make the clouds? Bina'an, a roof. So what do they say about the bina'a? They say bina, a roof, is derived from um, bana, meaning he built, he constructed. So bina, um, I will have to double check this. This could be bina or bana. So bina'un means a building, a structure, a thing that is built or constructed. Also the roof or ceiling of a house or of a chamber or the like. This is from the lexicon lane. Right, so Allah says the first two things He has mentioned in this verse of the Quran is that He made the earth firashan, a bed, was samaa, and the clouds, bina'an, a roof, wa anzala, and anzala, He brought down. What did He bring down? And He brought down min, from as-sama, the clouds, ma'a. Right? So from the clouds He brought down water. And what is the purpose of that water? Allah says, فَأَخْرَجَ. Akhraja means to take out. So He brought forth. So akhraja would mean normally to exit or to take something out. فَأَخْرَجَ, so He brought forth, He took out, bihi, through it, minas samarati, from the fruits. And what is the purpose of these fruits? They are rizqan lakum. They are a form of sustenance. Rizq, I'm quite sure you've all heard of the word rizq. Rizqan means a sustenance, lakum, for you. Right? So if you break down, let's finish the verse and we'll break down the different points that Allah has mentioned here. Fala, so, fa, so, la, not, taj'alu, you make, so do not make, lillahi, for Allah, with Allah, andadan, equals, wa antum ta'lamun, wa and antum, you, ta'lamun, you know. So let's quickly look at the word as-samara. So the lexicon Taj says that as-samarat, fruits, is the plural of samara, meaning a fruit. The word is derived from the word samara, which means the fruit became ripe. Asmara means the tree, etc., produced fruit. So the word samara is also used figuratively, meaning son or offspring or profit of a thing. Right? Just for your information there. But this is the explanation of the word as-samarat. And the next explanation here is for the word andadan. So in the lexicon lane, it says andadan equal is the plural of nadun, which means the like of a person or thing, or the like of a thing by participation of substance. The word nadun also means a thing which does or may supply the place of another thing, or a like that is contrary or opposed to another thing, a thing taken as an object of worship instead of the true God. I mean, this is the main thing you have to remember. The last sentence given by the lexicon lane is this. Right? Let me just highlight that for you. So a thing taken as an object of worship instead of the true God. And this is the context in this specific verse of the Quran. Now, let's look at the various points Allah the Almighty has explained. This will help you in the translation as well. So, firstly, Allah is explaining the various things that He has done for humans. Allazi, who, ja'ala, He made, lakum, for you, al-ard, the earth, firasha, the bed, was-sama, and the clouds, bina'a, and He made the clouds. It says roof, And the heaven, the translation given here is the heaven, but you have to understand the translation either way it's correct. You can use the clouds or the heavens or the skies, depending on whichever translation you want to use. Was-samaa, and the heaven, he made the heaven a roof, bina'an, roof. The next thing Allah the Almighty did, and continuing the topic of heaven, the clouds or the sky, Allah the Almighty says, wa anzala minas sama'i, and he caused ma'an, and he caused water to come down from the clouds. Okay, wa anzala, to come down, minas sama'i, from the clouds, ma'an, water, and caused water to come down from the clouds. And what was the result of the water coming down from the clouds? فَأَخْرَجَ bihi. So he brought forth bihi, through it, meaning through the water coming down, minas samarate, fruits, from fruits. And what is the purpose of those fruits, or any provisions of Allah? Is they are a form of rizqan lakum. They are a sustenance for you. Now, after explaining all these points, what is that Allah Ta'ala wants us to take away from this verse? He says, Fala, so not, Taj'alu, Fala, so do not, Taj'alu, make equals. Taj'alu, you make lillahi, for Allah, andadan, equals. Therefore, do not make equals to Allah, wa antum ta'lamun, while you know. Now, let's look at the split word again. Right, so Allazi, who, Ja'ala, he made, lakum, for you, al-arda, the earth, firasha, a bed, was-sama, and the clouds, bina'a, roof, or the heaven, a roof, wa anzala, and he brought down. You've hopefully all heard of the word nuzul, nazil. All these indicate a form of coming down. Wa anzala, and he brought down minas sama'i, from the clouds, ma'a, water. And the purpose of the water is fa'akhraja, so he brought forth, bihi, through it, meaning through the water, minas samarat, from the fruits. And the fruits are rizqan, a sustenance, lakum, for you. And why is Allah telling us this? Fala, so not, taj'alu, you make, lillahi, for Allah, andadan, equals. Wa antum, and antum, you, ta'lamun, you know, whilst you know, and you know. Now, I'll just quickly revise the first verse again with you. Ya ayyuha, O ye, annas, people, i'budu, you worship. This is a commandment. Allah is commanding us to, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, worship Rabbakum, your Lord. Allazi, who, khalaqa, he created, kum, you. Khalaqakum, he created you. Wa, and allazina, and those who, min qablikum, from before you. Min, from qablikum, before, kum, you. La Allah. Why is Allah telling us this? La Allah, so that, kum, you may. So that, la'allakum, so that you may. I forgot to combine the words again. This is the way you will say it in the Quran. La'allakum, so that you may, ratattakun, become righteous.